In this video, we are going to review how to multiply radicals. We can multiply things that are not the same. To think about that, if we have, let's say, 2x, we just did something like this, times x plus 6. When we distribute this, I'd get 2x squared plus 12x. So I multiply the numbers times the numbers, and the x's times the x's when I'm multiplying them. So in 19, I'm distributing a 3, so I'd have 3 times 5, which is 15, minus 3 times root 2 would be 3 root 2. So you can treat that root kind of like a variable. We don't multiply the 3 times the 2 unless they're both under square roots. Number 20, you try that one quick and see what you get. When I do it and I multiply here, since the 6 and 11 are both under a square root, I would write the square root of 66. I can go ahead and multiply them. And then the negative 2 times root 6, they aren't both under a square root, or both not. So I'd write minus 2 root 6. Now I could be done with my answer here, except I have to check and see if either of these square roots break down. So I'm going to try and list the factors of 66. 1 and 66, 2 and 33, 3 and 22, 4 no, 5 no, 6 and 11. I think I hit them all. No perfect squares here, so that's good. And the square root of 6 does not break down, because that's 1 and 6, 2 and 3. No perfect squares there either, so we're good. 21, instead of just distributing, we're going to actually multiply binomials, so we're going to have to FOIL that out. So I distribute the 3 to both terms. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times root 6 would be 3 root 6. Then I'll distribute the root 7 to both terms. Root 7 times 2 would be 2 root 7. Root 7 times root 6 would be root 42. So I can go ahead and multiply that 7 times that 6. Right now, when I look at these, I don't see that I have any like terms. There's no root 6's with root 6's or root 42's with root 42's. But I am wondering if root 42 doesn't break down. So I'm going to list my factors of 42. There they are. And I don't see a perfect square in there. So this is actually my answer, as crazy as it looks. They're all broken down and nothing adds together. This is the one that most students do not do correctly, because they assume that when it says to square something, you square this and you square that, which would be true if there was one term in this parentheses. But you'll notice each of these is a term. There's 2 terms in this parentheses. So that's not how we would do this problem. To square something means to multiply it by itself. So you need to rewrite this problem like that. And then you can go ahead and multiply. So I would distribute my root 3 to both. So I would have root 9 minus root 15, because I can multiply those. Then I'm going to distribute my root 5 to both. So negative root 15, positive root 25. Now when I look at these, you're probably noticing that root 9 is actually the number 3, right? And root 25 is actually the number 5. So I really have this. And then I noticed that now I have some like terms I can add. My numbers, if I want to add those first, I have 3 and 5, which makes an 8. And then these are like terms. It's a negative 1 root 15 and a negative 1 root 15, which would make a negative 2 root 15. And there's my answer.